chile, let me tell y'all what's been buzzing on these internet streets again, because the mess just won't stop when it comes to the Obamas. Now picture this, President Barack Obama standing in front of the world, smooth as ever, until his tongue slips. Yep, over the years people have caught him accidentally calling Michelle Michael, or even Mike. And baby, let me tell you, the internet has never let that go. Folks have been side-eyeing, whispering, and clipping those little slips like it's the biggest gotcha moment of all time. And now, oh honey, Jaguar Wright is back stirring the pot. Y'all know how she does. She went digging in those old clips, bringing up the times Barack fumbled Michelle's name, and asking the question that has been floating around for years. Was Joan Rivers actually telling the truth before she passed? Let me remind you, Joan didn't just make a little joke, no ma'am. When she was asked about the next president possibly being gay or a woman, she straight up said, "We already have it with Obama because Michelle is a trans." Whew, the shade, the boldness, the TEA. And listen, people didn't brush it off as a random joke. No. That comment lit the conspiracy world on fire, and the flames are still burning today, because after that, more so-called receipts started popping up. For example, Dr. Rafael Espinazo, allegedly one of the doctors around during Obama's campaign, claimed he saw something that nobody was supposed to see. According to him, Michelle wasn't who the world thought she was. He even said he was paid millions to stay quiet after supposedly catching Michelle, let me just say, in a very compromising bathroom moment. And chile, you know when a doctor puts his career and name on the line to say something like that, people are going to talk. But that's not all. These so-called documents also started floating around, allegedly from the Illinois State Board of Elections, claiming Michelle was registered to vote as a man up until 2008. Now y'all, that's the same year Barack was running for president, and guess what? That's when the record supposedly switched to female. Woo, chilly, if that's not enough to make people scratch their heads, I don't know what is. So between Barack's little slip-ups, Joan Rivers' bold mouth, this doctor spilling tea he probably shouldn't, and those voter documents popping up, people have been going wild all over again, asking if there's way more to the story than we've been told. Just when you think the tea can't get any hotter, here comes Barack's own family fanning the flames. I'm talking about his half-brother, Malik Obama. Now, Malik has never been the type to keep quiet, and over the years he's thrown some serious shade at Michelle. Matter of fact, he's been out here on Twitter asking straight-up messy questions like, "Is Michelle really Michael?" Whew, that's your own brother-in-law saying that, y'all. Family throwing shots, that hits different. And Malik didn't just say it one time and move on. Oh no, he's kept that same energy for years. He even tweeted about the so-called legend of Big Mike. And chile, that name alone sent the internet into a frenzy. Even as recently as 2024, he was still out here talking about how he believes Michelle is not who the world thinks she is. Imagine your own blood relative adding fuel to the fire when everybody else is already whispering. But wait, there's more. Another piece of this messy puzzle is the family photos. Or should I say the lack of certain photos. People have always pointed out that while the Obamas love to share those glamorous wedding pics, you don't really see pregnancy photos of Michelle. And baby, that's got folks side-eyeing hard. Because when Malia and Sasha showed up in the spotlight, they were already little girls, like 3 to 6 years old. That left people asking, where are the baby pics? Where are the receipts? Now Michelle has told the public the girls were conceived through IVF, which makes sense to some. But the internet, oh honey, the internet wasn't buying it. Instead, rumours started swirling that the real parents of Malia and Sasha might be family friends, Martin Nesbitt and Dr. Anita Blanchard. And it doesn't help that Dr. Blanchard is supposedly the doctor who delivered the Obama girls. Messy, right? On top of that, photos popped up of the two families vacationing together in Hawaii. And Chile, instead of seeing that as normal friendship, the conspiracy world flipped it into, oh, they're staying close so they can keep an eye on their real kids. Whew, the level of gossip is off the charts. And baby, don't forget Joan Rivers again, because when she made that bold little comment about Michelle, some people said maybe Joan wasn't joking at all. Maybe she was dropping tea that others were too scared to say out loud. And then, not long after, Joan suddenly passed away in such a shocking way. And you already know what happened after that. Whispers, speculation, people asking if the Obamas had something to do with her death. Could it have just been bad timing, or did Joan spill too much tea? Now, let's take it a step further because you'll remember Chef Tafari Campbell, right? The man who used to work at the White House and later became the Obama family's personal chef. That's right. Tafari wasn't just any chef. He was close with the Obamas, even making that famous honey ale beer from Michelle's garden. But then, in 2023, tragedy hit. Tafari went paddleboarding near the Obamas' home and drowned. The official story says he lost balance, wasn't wearing a life jacket, and went under. But Chile, the streets have been saying the story doesn't add up. Because according to rumours, Tafari was found in less than 4 feet of water. 4 feet, y'all! Plus, some say he had head injuries. And let's not forget that 911 wasn't called right away. It's giving suspicious. And just like with Joan, whispers started again that maybe he knew too much. Maybe he was even working on a tell-all book. And if that's true, honey, that could explain why some folks believe his death wasn't an accident at all. Now, baby, as if all of that wasn't already enough to have folks talking, the mess just keeps getting deeper. Because when it comes to the Obamas, the rumors don't stop at identity questions or family tea. Oh no, Chile, cheating scandals have been swirling too. Let's talk about Vera Baker. Back in 2004, Vera was out here grinding hard on Barack's Senate campaign, raising millions and helping him climb that political ladder. But honey, the street said Barack wasn't just impressed with her work ethic. Allegedly, he was impressed with her. There was even a taxi driver who swore up and down that he drove Barack and Vera to a hotel where they supposedly spent the night together. Whew! And it didn't stop there because a whole expose was done claiming Barack had fallen hard for Vera even though he was married to Michelle. Now, of course, Vera wasn't having it. She turned around and sued the publication that put that story out, saying it was all lies cooked up by Barack's political enemies. But even after the lawsuit, questions never really went away. People kept asking, was there actually a video? Was Vera paid off to deny it? Or worse, was she forced to disappear from the spotlight? Baby, those are some heavy accusations. And while the world was chewing on that, Michelle herself came forward in interviews and dropped some surprising honesty about their marriage. She admitted there were 10 years where she couldn't stand Barack. Yes, you heard that right. 10 whole years. She said the marriage felt unbalanced, that Barack was busy chasing politics while she was left holding it down with Sasha and Malia. Michelle even said she was counting how many diapers she changed compared to him and watching him play golf while she sacrificed her own peace. Child, if the First Lady was ready to pack her bags back then, just imagine what was happening behind closed doors. And Chile, you already know the internet put 2 and 2 together. Between the alleged affair rumors and Michelle's own confessions, folks started whispering that divorce papers might have been closer to the table than we ever knew. Add to that the more recent chatter about their marriage being rocky in the last 2 to 3 years, and it just makes you wonder how much of the perfect couple image was real and how much was just politics. But here's the kicker. Jaguar Wright has been right there in the mix again, fanning the flames. She's been saying out loud what many people only whisper, that maybe all these rumors, the identity questions, the secret children, the cheating, the possible divorce, might actually connect in ways we don't fully see yet. And Chile, whether she's chasing clout or actually holding receipts, she's keeping people glued to the drama. So the real question is, if all these whispers are true, what else is out there that we don't know yet? And more importantly, who's bold enough to spill it next? Stay glued, like, share, and subscribe for more shocking revelation.